Hello and welcome back to Archbellyoga YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have you with me, practicing on our mats together, sharing this precious time out of our busy lives to fill ourselves up, feel better in ourselves, and yes, just take away a little bit more love in our heart than what we started with. So this practice is going to be really gentle, really soft, designed for those days when perhaps you really don't feel like there's physically very much energy in the body, and quite frankly you probably can't really be bothered. So this will be a perfect practice for those times to just have some movement, a little shift in the energy of the body, and feel lighter at the end. So we're going to start lying down on our back, so rolling down gently, beginning as we mean to go on. We're going to keep the knees bent, walk the feet out to the edges of the mat, and then let the knees fall in towards each other, supporting each other, helping them rest and let go of all the heaviness they may have been carrying around throughout your day. Take a few wiggles with the hips to get them into a nice comfortable position. Slight tuck of the chin into the head, lift and lower the shoulders. Then let the arms drop out to the sides, palms facing up to the sky. And over the next few breaths, let yourself begin to melt. Let the body begin to find a place to settle. The shoulders are letting go of tension. The back of the body is resting on the mat. The back of the hips becoming heavy into the floor. The weight of the legs resting against each other. Gently close the eyes. Allow yourself to travel inwards with the breath. Letting yourself become present in the body, present with the mind, focusing on the breath. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to be doing, except for resting here in this moment. And can you make that gentle intention to have time for you? Time for you to empty out all the stresses, to empty the cup of all the heavy items, to then allow yourself to fill back up with goodness, love, enabling you to leave the mat, walk back into your day with renewed energy, making that intention known to the body and the mind and to the world around you, that this is your time, that you deserve this time for you. And as you breathe out, can you sink a little deeper, release a little more. Deepening that in-breath as we begin to prepare the body into this gentle release. Wiggling the fingers and circle into the thumbs. Release the knees, let the feet walk back to about hip distance width apart. And begin gently rocking the knees from side to side. And you can either let the knees fall all the way over to the mat, or you can just come part way over, just really feeling into what feels good for the lower back, your lower back, what feels good for you. And the breath can be gentle and swaying with the knees. We're not trying to force it to come at certain points. We're just letting the knees move. You might find that they move fast or slow. Try listening to the little messages that the body's giving you about where it wishes to move to and what feels like it's releasing something and what feels good really. Coming back to center. Bringing the hands to either side of the body, palms facing down for now. We're going to roll through the pelvis, a little rock of the pelvis. So as we inhale, we're lifting up that tailbone, lifting up the bum cheeks, not coming too high. And as you exhale, rolling back down through that tailbone, release the back of the hips to the floor, and then pushing the tailbone forward, lifting the pelvis up, creating an arch into the lower back. And then flowing with the breath, inhale, tailbone lifts, pelvis rocks up. Exhale, tailbone lowers down, pelvis rocks forward, arching through the back. And taking a few more with your own breath. Feeling that release working from the lower hips into the middle of the back. And the movement can be really subtle and gentle, or perhaps it feels nice to take it to the edge. And the next time you inhale and we lift the tailbone, we're going to continue lifting, rolling up through the spine, lifting the pelvis, the belly, up to the sky. Push into the feet to hold you steady. Knees stay parallel to each other. And as we exhale, rolling back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, one step at a time, nice and slow. And then flowing up with the breath and flowing down with the breath. We're moving that sensation of release from the hips, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, and then rolling it all back down again. You may wish to bring the arms into the floor. As you inhale, the arms come up and over as you lift the pelvis, the belly. Hands reach out behind. As we exhale, hands come up and over, lowering down with the spine and the back. And can you bring them in to sync with the breath and with each other? Few more with your own breath, and always the option to keep the hands where they were. Is moving the arms something that your body wants right now? Is it something that the mind needs? Does it feel good? Or are you pushing out beyond the limits of your body tonight, today? Whatever time you're practicing this. Last one. As the body releases back to the mat, draw the knees into the belly. Hands around the shins, keeping them a little bit apart from each other. Let the shoulders relax back down. Tailbone is coming down into the mat. So we're keeping the whole of the lower back onto the floor. Inhale, let the knees draw away from the body, straightening the elbows, straightening the arms. Exhale, squeeze the knees down towards the body. Can we keep the spine connected to the floor and almost feel as though we're using a little bit of weight to let that spine sink into the mat. Inhale, stretching away. Exhale, drawing it in. And notice the belly. As we inhale, let the belly expand out and find its space as the thighs and knees stretch away from the body. As you exhale, feel as though we're squeezing that belly in. The belly is contracting inwards, releasing all the breath, pushing it out of the body. And drawing in fresh, vibrant energy and releasing any stagnant or heavy energy that the body no longer needs. Working deep into the body. Last one. I'm going to draw the knees together now. Bring the hands onto the knees and circle over to the right. Pushing the knees out and away in a big circle, drawing them back down, squeezing them across the body and back out. Inhale as we send them away. Exhale as we draw them in. And I always like to feel that I'm massaging the back here, but also this sensation of squeezing across our digestive system. Just getting everything with some fresh energy moving and helping us remove the toxins from the body. And inviting you to play around with how wide the knees go. So we'll begin quite wide, but you can make that circle a little smaller. And just notice, how does that feel into the back? Is there any particular sore points that really feel good as you roll over them? You can focus that movement there. Spend an extra slow breath as you roll over that spot. At the end of the exhale, we're going to reverse that direction, so coming up through the left. Begin with a nice big circle. Exhale as we draw down and squeeze across the body. Think about the thighs connecting into the belly, like a rolling pin from one side to the other. As you exhale, just squeeze those knees in. Release them out. Keeping the hands on the knees, we're going to part the knees again a little bit and circle into the ankles. So it doesn't matter which direction you go in, whether they're in slightly opposite directions or moving in the same direction, because we're going to switch that in a moment. And then switching the direction. Coming back to center, give the toes a wiggle out. Nice wiggle through the feet. Any clicks or groans, let them release, and then squeeze the toes together. Flex them out, stretch them out, squeeze and stretch. One more, squeeze and stretch. Give the legs a little shake and bring the soles of the feet back to the floor. We're going to release the hands up to the sky, resting on the elbows, and begin circling from the elbow. So keeping the fingers straight and pointing up, we're circling into the elbow so the back of the arm is resting on the mat. And we're really isolating into that elbow circulation. Reverse the direction. Coming back to center. Squeeze the fingers in, squeeze them in tight, and then release them out. Stretch them away. How wide can you make your palm? Squeeze them in, stretch them away. Squeeze them in, stretch them away. This time making a fist, we're going to circle into the wrist. And all these small joints that we don't really think about very often. It feels really nice to work into each one slowly and with the intention of completely relaxing and releasing any tightness, any stagnant energy, any blockages, because then it allows our energy to flow. Reverse that direction. It allows the energy to flow to all the small areas of the body. And then release that movement. We're going to bring the arms in the sky and give them a nice shake from the fingers down to the shoulders, just shaking them out. Oh, feels lovely. And release the hands. We're going to bring them behind the back of the knees and take a few rocks through the spine. If this doesn't feel good, you can come onto the side to bring yourself up to sitting. So we're going to keep the legs straight out in front of us. Now, if this feels like it pulls on the back of the knees, just pop a little cushion under here and let the knees be like slightly bent. It can ease off the back of the hamstrings because you haven't really stretched them out. So it might feel uncomfortable to have the legs straight, and really we're aiming for something that just feels really nice in this practice. So legs are out straight, toes are flexed. And we're going to bring the hands out either side, fingertips stretching away. Bring the spine up tall and straight, coming up through the crown of the head, as though something is lifting you off while sinking the hips down into the mat. I'm just going to take a breath or two here to let the body adjust to this position. Let yourself find some comfort in sitting up tall, letting the shoulders relax down. Legs are active into the floor. Taking a deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips. Walk the hands forward. Now it may only be the tiniest of amount, millimeters even. One fingertip. Chest draws up and forward. spine stays long. We're trying to avoid rounding down into ourselves, keeping this nice, active, long spine. Imagining as we inhale through the tailbone, the breath is coming up through the spine into the crown of the head. And as we exhale, the breath travels back down through the spine, out through the tailbone. A deep cleansing breath through our main energy channel, through the center of our spinal cord. When you begin your next exhale, let the back go round into the shoulders. Let the head come down towards the legs. Let the legs ease off. Sink into a fold. And just notice how nice that feels if you've been holding the spine long and strong. How nice it feels to release. Inhale, we're beginning to walk ourselves back up. Leaning back on the hands, bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Rock the knees from side to side. Coming back to center, release the legs out in front. Readjust your position. We're going to bring the right foot into the left hand and the right hand onto the outside of that right knee, and begin to rock the leg from side to side. So the body's staying really still, so we're not rocking with the leg. The body's staying nice and central and still, and the leg is rocking from side to side. Excuse me. Coming back to center. Now maybe the left hand just stays gripping that foot, or maybe you can take that foot with the right hand and bring it into the left elbow, or somewhere towards the left elbow, the crux of that left elbow. Left hand comes along the shin. Right hand can hook round the right knee now, and the hands are almost meeting together. So it just depends on where your tightness is how far the hands will come. So maybe you are still keeping the hand on the knee and the foot, or maybe it's that it can come in towards the elbow and you're almost hugging this shin into the body a little. So we're going to sit nice and tall and upright. As we inhale, we're going to lift that foot up any amount. Lift the shin up any amount. As we exhale, squeeze into the body. You should feel something in and around that right outside hip, that right outside thigh. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lift and squeeze. And this time, squeezing it in, we're going to lean back and rock the whole body from side to side. This always feels so good when you come out of it. We all carry so much tightness in our hips. It's where a lot of our stress goes from day to day. Coming back to center. Release off the foot, lean over to the left, and then just circle in to that right hip in one direction and then the other. And it always feels weird when you go in the opposite direction to what feels natural. And then stretch out that leg, give it a little shake, rock the foot from side to side, and we'll go on the opposite side. So we're going to take the left foot with the right hand. Left hand comes onto the outside of that left knee. Sitting up nice and tall, keep the body still. Rock the leg from side to side. Checking my microphone is still on. Rocking the leg from side to side. And then coming back to center. Taking that left foot with the right hand and bringing it as far into the crux of that right elbow as we can. Left arm wraps round, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, lifting the foot and leg any amount. Exhale, squeeze it into the body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze it into the body. You're trying to close that gap between the leg and the chest. Last one, inhale and then exhale, squeeze, lean it back, rock side to side. Coming back to center. Release off that foot to the floor, lean over to the right and circle into that left hip. And opposite direction. Coming back to center, release the leg out, give it a lovely shake. Oh, and rock the foot from side to side. Lovely. Okay, coming to a nice cross-leg position. So if the hips still feel a little tight, sitting on a cushion can help. We're going to work into our shoulders. So bring the arms out in front. We're going to turn the palms to face each other. And then we're going to wrap the right arm under that left arm and then draw the left arm in towards the body. So keep the palms nice and flat and active. And begin drawing that left arm in towards the body, using the right arm to do this. So keeping a long spine, tailbone is centered down towards the earth, lifting up through the crown of the head. The body stays centered, so we're not twisting over to get deeper. We're just drawing that arm in towards the body. And then breathing here. Release the right arm. Come back to center, palms facing each other. Bringing the left arm up and under the right and then drawing it in towards the body. Then release both arms back to center. Lift them up to the sky. As you exhale, bend into the elbows, coming down shoulder height, cactus arms. Lift up through the chest, lift the gaze. Inhale, reaching up to the sky, stretch through those fingers, stretching all the way from the hip, up through the body. Can we stretch as high as we can? Exhale, release the elbows out either side, lifting the chin, the chest, the gaze. Last one, inhale, reaching up. Exhale. And release, roll into the shoulders. And opposite direction. And relax. Bringing the arms out either side of the body. We're going to cross the right arm underneath the left and lift the backs of the hands up towards each other. Perhaps the palms of the hands can come to meet, so we take an extra twist. And if either one of those feels particularly uncomfortable, we can bring the arms to simply rest on the shoulders and we create the same shape with the hug. So choosing whichever one feels good for you. remembering that this is your time on the mat. What is it that your body needs? Sinking the hips down into the mat. We're going to inhale, lift the elbows up a little. Feel the stretch across the back of the shoulder blades. Maybe the gaze turns to look up towards the fingertips, or maybe just keep it out in front. Just what works for you. And breathing here. Can we let the breath be soft and subtle? Can we feel it in the whole of the back of the lungs? The back of the body as we expand across the shoulder blades. Exhale, release out the arms, give them a twist from side to side. Roll into those shoulders. Release the legs out and change the cross. So whichever way you had your legs before, you're going to have the opposite side this time. Bring the arms out either side of the body, fingertips stretching away. Inhale, rise them up to the sky. As you exhale this time, bring the arms out behind the body, interlace the fingers. Roll the shoulders back and down. Push the hands towards the floor. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hinge a little forward at the hips. Let the hands lift up to the sky. Just one full cycle of breath here. Inhale. Push the hands down towards the mat. Release off the shoulders. Bringing the arms out either side of the body. This time left arm crosses under the right. Hands, backs of the hands come up towards each other. Or taking that extra twist where the palms begin to meet. Or again, holding on to the shoulders. Choosing which one feels good for you. Sinking the hips into the floor. Relax the legs. As you inhale, lengthen through the spine. Lift the elbows up any amount towards the sky. Maybe the gaze lifts to look up. Maybe it stays straight ahead. Can you keep a long spine? We're not curling or curving into the back. The stretch is isolated deep into the shoulder blades. Cross the upper back. Breathing deeply here. Exhale, release the arms, give them a twist from side to side. Roll into the shoulders. Release out the legs, give them a shake. Give the body a little shake. Hopefully everything's beginning to feel soft and released. We're going to come onto our knees now. And we're going to part the knees to the edges of the mat. Big toes come in towards each other. I'm getting too relaxed. Send the hips back towards the heels. Walk the hands out in front. Let the body, the chest, the chin, the forehead come down to the mat. Sinking into our child's pose, sinking into Balasana. And don't worry about the hips reaching back towards the heels. Your bum may be a little higher, but thinking about a long spine, thinking about that chest sinking down into the earth. Let the head be supported. Let the body find space in between the legs. And use each exhale to let go, to surrender down into the mat. Your breath has the most beautiful healing powers as it slows down It invites the body to do the same. Inhale, lifting the head, lift the body, let the knees come back towards each other, and then lowering down onto the front. Hands can come to rest together, elbows out to the side, forehead resting on the hands. We're going to lift the feet into the air, and we're going to rock the feet from side to side, creating a rolling sensation from one hip to the other. Let the feet be really soft. As you come back to center, we're going to circle into the knee. So keeping the thigh connected to the mat and making some circles with the soles of the feet, creating a rotation into the knee, gentle and soft. Reverse the direction. Then coming back to center, release the feet back to the floor. Stretch the arms out in front, forehead on the floor. I'm going to walk the fingertips a little further away. Lift and stretch the feet a little further away, stretching the whole of the body. Then gently bring the hands back to the side of the body and easing your way onto your back. We're going to come down into Shavasana now, our final resting pose. So option 2, take that first pose where the knees are bent and they fall in towards each other to allow you to find space to fully rest. Sometimes this feels a little nicer on the lower back if you've got any aches or pains there. Or coming into full Shavasana where we lay out completely flat. We're going to walk the feet out to the edges of the mat. Arms are parted from the body, creating some space between the body and the armpits and the arms themselves. Palms facing up. And taking any props that you need, a cushion under the head, a blanket, any adjustments, or perhaps a cushion under the knees also feels really nice. Any position, any adjustments you need to completely let go, to fully relax, fully surrender, to find that gentleness that is in the body, the softness that is there that we've created. And then when you're ready, close down the eyes and begin to focus on the breath. Noticing that exhale become longer than the inhale. Signaling to the body and the mind that now is your time to let all that work, all that movement be absorbed into the body. To let the energy flow freely wherever it needs to go. Long exhale, soft and gentle. And at any point throughout the quietness, just come back to that breath. come back to focusing on that exhale, that long and gentle, soft breath that releases the body. Let yourself surrender now. Shifting our focus now to noticing the sounds in the room, feeling which parts of the body are resting on the earth, noticing the temperature of the air on the exposed skin of our hands and our feet and our face. And drawing attention to the inhale, letting each inhale become stronger and beginning to meet the exhale for the same amount of time, signaling to the mind and the body it's time to reawaken, to bring back this beautiful energy that you've allowed to flow, and taking some movement, stretching the fingers and the toes, a rock of the head from side to side. Draw the knees into the chest and taking a gentle rock into that lower back. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side. We're going to pause here for just a few more breaths. So maybe making a pillow with the arm and letting there be a bend in the knees. And just savouring the moment a little longer. That sensation of a body that feels that it's let go, it's counteracted the stress. that sensation of a mind that's calmer than what it was when we started. That feeling of love in the heart. Just make a memory. So the next time that you don't feel like practicing, you can come back to how good it feels right now. And that can be the reason you continue to practice, to continue to give yourself time, continue to focus on you. Take a lovely deep breath in as we push in and draw ourselves back to seated, meeting on our mats with our hands in prayer. A nod of the head in towards the fingertips to honour our space and our time, and to pay thanks to ourselves for choosing to do something good for you, choosing to do something that was just for you. The light and love within me bows to that light and love within you. Namaste, my friends. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you feel really relaxed, really chilled, and just lighter than what you were before. So take a little bit of time to notice that. Take a little bit of time for yourself to really embed how the practice felt, how you felt, and take that away with you, because you're going to feel so much lighter, so much more joyful. And even those simple movements, just tiny little movements, just releasing out, letting out energy flow again, can make a huge difference in how we feel.